Hi all, and welcome again. I'm a little bit later today, a moving tribute, and happy VE Day. You can see that we have been busy making some things in the background there. Alfie was helping us. They are very much homemade, and fortunately you can't see them closely because they're not perfect, but hopefully you will appreciate the effort. Today, as I say, is VE Day, so there'll be no bridge tonight. I won't be playing tonight. We have got some various celebrations going on in the street here. We're going to be using some of the decorations outside. We're going to take them outside and we're going to have a picnic blanket. And Alfie's going to join us, and we might even have a drink later in the evening, depending. We're going to enjoy that, and I hope you get some enjoyment out of it as well. And on that note, I should say happy birthday to Pat Hume. She's 80 today, so happy birthday. And I hope, I'm sure you were expecting to have a wonderful street party or whatever, but I hope you enjoy your birthday as it is. So no teams tonight, but we'll hopefully be back doing that, excuse me, doing that next week. And maybe even with some microphone, etc. So we'll see how that goes. My shirt was an attempt to be red, white and blue. Okay, it's the same one I think I wear when I'm on Fred Olsen. They often have a red, white and blue night. I'm not massively into it, but I sort of go for the subtle version, shall we say. We're going to finish the last of the playing no trumps. We're actually going to look a bit closer at Declare a Playing One No Trump. And finish off with that, a relatively short one. And then we've got 4 hands that have been sent in on some preempts and also on slams. So some interesting ones, so we'll see how we get on with that. Okay, well let's do our usual thing and start by looking at the quiz. The idea of the shirt being subtle was a subtle red, white and blue rather than subtle colourfulness. Okay, here's your quiz. You saw this on Wednesday. It's 1 spade from your partner and it's your bid. 1 spade from your partner and it's your bid. Okay, and we'll look at the answer to that later on. I should be getting a stream of 2 different answers or the same answer, yeah. And I've got what I expected, and we'll talk about that later. The answer should probably be 2 spades or 1 no trump, and we will see what I think later. So let's go to the little bit of PowerPoint that we're going to look at today. So we are looking at Declare a Playing One No Trump rather than just no trump generally, and I mentioned this on Wednesday. A lot of you dislike One No Trump. Okay, and the reason is because it's so much more difficult. So we're going to look at some of the tactics, some of which we've already seen. So the tactics involve patience, which some of you would prefer to play than a one no trump contract. Okay, but patience is on both sides of the table. That's what's so interesting. Both defenders and declarers need to be patient in this contract, because of course in 3 no trumps it's lovely as a defender. You lead a 5 card suit. If you establish it, you'll often get 3 no trumps down. In 1 no trump, you can establish a suit, make all the tricks in that suit and still not get the contract down. So you do need a little bit more patience. But we're looking from declarer's point of view today, and what it really means is don't pursue your tricks too quickly. Just take your time. Okay, now we've looked at this and we're going to look at it again, this idea of frozen suits. Okay, the idea is that excuse me, we saw it when we were doing leads, where I said we don't like leading frozen suits. I'll explain what a frozen suit is in a moment, and we'll also see the same slides as it were that we saw with those leads. It's a fundamental thing, understanding what a frozen suit is. Basically, it's generally the honours are split around the table, and whoever leads the suit breaks the ice in the suit, and of course it gives it to the opponents, and we'll see that. Ducking later and longer we've already looked at, so we won't look at that today. That's what we looked at on Wednesday, where people were asking, well, can you use the rule of 7 in other situations? Well, often it varies, so really you need to use your information. Okay, you need to look at the individual hand and decide. And the last thing, again, we're not going to look at this today. This is a relatively esoteric idea of disguising your strength, and it works in any contract you're in. It's one of my favourite things, and that is when you've got the ace, king, queen and a small one in a suit. Rather than playing them straight off, I'll often keep them hidden in my hand, because if you're lucky, one of your opponents might discard one, thinking his 4 to the 10 aren't valuable. And then, of course, your ace, king, queen will clear the suit, and your last one will be a winner. Okay, so let's start with a frozen suit. As I say, you have actually seen this slide before, but it's a long time ago. It's a month ago, I would say, believe it or not, a month ago. So let's just remind ourselves about this. So the point about this suit is that if you looked at the north and south cards, you would assume they are going to make a trick. Okay. However, if north or south lead this suit, north-south will not make a trick. And that is the key here. So let's just look at an example. If south chooses to lead the suit, the defenders or opposition have the power of second hand plays low. So let's do it. Small lead, second hand plays low, forces north to play his high card. If he plays low, clearly the 10 would win. So north plays his high card, but of course the ace kills it. And now the jack is in a sacrificial position. The 10 of clubs is led through and the jack dies underneath the king. So suddenly, don't make any tricks in the suit because you've led it. So again, a frozen suit is when the honours are divided around the table. And why am I talking about this with respect to one no trump? Well, one no trump contracts are so often contracts where it's about 20 points against 20 points and everybody has something. Sometimes in three no trumps you might find that one person has nothing at all. Okay. Whereas in one no trump it's unusual for that situation. Usually you will have 10 points in one hand, 8 in another, 12 in one, 8 in another. And that didn't add 12 and 10, didn't add up to 40, but anyway, none of that. Okay, let's just confirm that if east-west lead the suit, then north-south will make a trick. So imagine west leads the suit. Again, north has the power of second hand plays low. That forces east to do something. If east plays the ace, well then the jack, queen and jack are left. If east plays the 10, the jack wins the trick. So he's got to play the ace to try and make. But of course now, can you see the situation there? Okay, the queen and jack surely must make a trick. If anybody leads a high card, in theory the card above it should win it. So if I haven't still got it, but if I go back to the full holding, someone's asking what happens if you lead the jack of clubs, for instance, as south. Well, north's job is to kill that card. So if the jack was led, the king would kill it. And then, of course, they can lead through the queen. And that is our job when we're defending or attacking, as it were. Okay, your honour's job is to kill the one beneath you. So the king would love to be able to kill the jack. The ace wants to kill the queen. But of course, the problem was when we saw the 5 led, the queen's not played, and now the ace can't really do the job it wants to do. Okay? If you're an opening lead, you'd probably lead this suit, and you'd hopefully make the 4th round. But what we did discuss in that first week was we don't particularly like leading away from one honour. And this is exactly the reason, because so often it will give a trick away. So we mentioned that, it might have been the 4th seminar we did, so it's a long time, about a month ago. But we mentioned the idea that if we only have one honour, then it's a risky lead. If you swap the king and queen, it's a very similar situation. If south leads the suit to the king, the ace kills it, and suddenly you still don't make a trick. Okay. Bear in mind, if the honours are together, it can be very, very different. Okay. It can be very, very different situation. Okay. So let's look at some examples. First of all, let's look at this one. So have a look at this, and the lead is and the lead is the 10 of spades. 10 of spades. So I'm hoping you all come up with this answer. So important, and it's a nice and easy one, I hope, as well. 6 top tricks. Ace, king, ace, king, ace, king. Okay. And you've just got to make one more. Okay. So you just need to make one more trick. And we always try to look at different ways of doing it, and there's no doubt there is a chance of making it in hearts, and there's a chance of making an extra trick in diamonds. But 3-3 breaks are not so common, okay, they're less than 50%, whereas in clubs, we know we can make a trick if we are patient, if we take our time. We've got to knock out 3 rounds of clubs. Now at that point you think, well, hold on, they've surely made their suit. But that's the beauty, that's the beauty of one no trump. You actually don't mind so much if they do make their suit. So let's say, I'll tell you that North has 5 spades. Well, he'll make 3 spade tricks, and he'll make the ace, king, queen of clubs. That's 6 tricks you're still making, as long as they don't make 2 suits, and that's the key. And that's why one no trump's so different. So here I'm not so worried about the spades, perhaps unless they broke 6-2, okay? But in clubs, I've got chances. So extra tricks could come from clubs, hearts or diamonds. The problem with playing on hearts or diamonds is the worry that the opponents can make 3 spade tricks, the ace, king, queen of clubs, and whatever trick we give them in either of those suits. Okay, now if the suit does break 3-3, of course you're fine. If it breaks 4-2, you might end up giving them 2 tricks. So let's have a look. There's just going to show you the full hand, just to show you it in totality. North is going to make his suit. North is going to make his spade suit, okay? But we're not so worried about that. Okay, so let's just see how the player's gone. Now, I've not ducked here. Ducking isn't the worst play here, because if the suit is 6-2 and North has 1 on it, it's probably right. But I'm just going to show you just the play to show you how developing clubs is the way to go. So we win the ace of spades and we just play on clubs. You need patience to do this, because it's going to take a long time. The queen wins, a good duck from North there, and they lead a spade back, which knocks out our king. And we just carry on. We're not worried. Okay. Now, if there happen to be four spades in the North hand, 4 more spades, so be it. Okay. But the ace wins the trick, and they now have 3 spades to take. And so North does indeed take 3 spade tricks. Okay. So let's do that. We'll take the first one, and then I'll let him take 2 more. We're just going to throw little hearts and little diamonds. We don't need those. Okay, we must keep our clubs, of course. And we've got 2 stoppers in the other suits, so there's nothing they can do. Whatever North tries to lead, let's say he tries a heart, we win it. We play that last club to knock out the king, okay, and our 10. It took a long time, but that 10 of clubs is the winner at the end of it. Okay, so, and that's the idea of patience. Okay, and not worrying about one suit, and this is crucial. It's so different to 3 no trumps. In 3 no trumps or 6 no trumps or whatever, you know, you're clearly worried very quickly about losing tricks. The worrying about the defense in a way is an easier thing, because you know you're worried. In 1 no trump, it can be difficult to know when you are worried. Okay, there's the full hand again for you to look at. Okay, and you can see clearly I set the hand so neither of the red suits broke 3-3. On a better day, one of them might do. Okay. Have a look at this one. So I've been kind to you here on these 2 1 no trump ones, haven't I? Because again, you've got 6 top tricks. If you remember on Wednesday, I gave you one of those horrible hands where you start with 2 top tricks and had lots of work to do. So everybody neatly saying 6 top tricks. I hope everybody's happy with that. Ace, king, queen, jack of diamonds and the ace, king of hearts. Remember, you can only make the 4 diamond tricks, even though you've got actually ace, king, queen, jack, 10, 9. Okay, so 6 top tricks, you need 1 more. Okay, and I'm getting some good cold comments on my right, I hope. Okay, because it's a lovely day today. It looks like it's going to be warm, but we're looking out for frozen suits here. Okay, and there are potentially 2 of them. Okay, now hearts are different, although you've got 1 on in each. clearly you're only going to make your ace and king there. But in spades and clubs, you've got one honour in each. And what you're generally going to find in situations like that is that if they are forced to lead the trick suit, they will have to give you a trick. Okay, so both clubs and spades, I'm thinking, and as someone has suggested, the plan is going to be just to put the opponents on lead. The 2 of hearts is crucial here. 2 of hearts is crucial because it suggests they don't have 5 hearts. Okay, so the plan is going to be, as a number of people have said, I'm going to win my diamonds, play the ace and king of hearts and let the opponents have the lead. If they had a 5-card suit, that might be dangerous, but I don't think they do. They've led the 2 of hearts. That's probably 4th highest or perhaps even 3rd highest, but it won't be a 5-2 break, and that's key to this hand. Now, you could play spades yourself, and on a good day, you could finesse south for the 10. And then you could maybe establish 1 trick, maybe even 2 if they broke 3-3. But bear in mind that if you play a small spade to the 9 and it loses to the 10, you've still then got to lose the ace and king, and you may find yourself struggling. They'll win 3 spades, 2 hearts, and possibly 2 clubs. Okay, so what we need to do now is, I think, notice that clubs and spades are frozen, and understand that if you force your opponents to lead those suits, you will get a trick. And we saw that with the queen and jack of clubs in the example I show you of a frozen suits, and the same thing here with the jack and king of clubs. Okay, don't forget, someone's saying 24 points should be in 2 no trumps. Well, of course, with 10 opposite, 12 to 14, you're never going to get higher than 1 no trump there. Okay, and because they're relatively flat, particularly the west hand, it's one of those horrible 4-3-3-3 shapes. Okay, so 2 of hearts is led, and I'll show you the full hand here. And the plan is therefore to win your ace and king of hearts. So we are not ducking. We're going to win the ace and king of hearts, and we're going to play the ace, king, queen, jack of diamonds. Take the first 6 tricks, then give your opponents the lead. Okay. Okay, and then they will have to eventually lead a club or a spade. Please don't think if you're playing rubber bridge you want to be in 2 no trumps in this hand. You do not want to be anywhere near 2 no trumps on this hand. Okay, and not only that, you won't make it. Okay, all right, you just want to have a 1 no trump opening from west and a pass from east. Nice and straightforward, I hope. Okay, so let's do that. The 2 of hearts was led. Note, we noticed the 2 of hearts. That is important. We cash all 4 of our diamonds. We take our ace and king of hearts and then let them have. Okay, so we win all the diamonds. We then play the king of hearts and another heart. So we're letting the opponents get their tricks. Okay, North wins his queen and jack. So let's look at the top corner. They've won 2 tricks and we've won 6. And they are going to make a nice easy 4 tricks here. They've got the ace and king of spades and the ace and queen of clubs, which is lovely. Okay, but that's all they're going to make, because they have to lead the suits. And in fact, South is probably begging for a club lead. But what's interesting is if they lead clubs, we're going to finish with the jack. And what's going to happen on this hand is, what's interesting is we're going to be left with the jack of clubs in the west hand and the jack of spades in the east hand. And one of them will win the last trick. So let's just do, you can see, for example, assuming South has asked for a club lead, North would lead the 10 of clubs to the queen, the ace would drop the king, but our jack would now be a winner. Now, they might think, well, we won't play a 3rd club, they'll play the king of spades and then the ace of spades. But then our jack of spades would be a winner. As long as they play the suit, we will make a trick. So let's just clarify the situation there. In spades, okay, if you choose to play that spade suit yourself, and a lot of players would, because they will be pursuing their extra trick. They've got 6, they want a 7th. So they try hard. So they play a spade, for instance, to the 9, and it loses to the 10, and eventually they will lose the ace, king, queen of spades. So the ace, king, and 10 of spades. They will lose 2 heart tricks, and they will lose the ace and queen of clubs. Okay. On this particular hand, if you know the layout, and again this idea of double dummy, well, in theory you could make the bizarre lead of small towards the jack of clubs, and that would work because of the layout, but clearly that would not be a normal percentage play, shall we say. Okay. So that's frozen suits and avoiding them. And of course defenders are trying to do the same. Sorry about banging my microphone there. The defenders are trying to do the same, but we have forced them, as someone used the right term, their end play. In a way, we've end played them. We've forced them to give us a trick. But the defenders in spades, for example, are thinking, I've got one honour, maybe my partner's got one, maybe I shouldn't be leading this suit. Clubs are slightly different, as I say. Okay, but spades particularly, the defenders wouldn't want to be leading. Okay. That's our little bit to finish off on Declare a Place. So that'll do us, and I thought we'll start a new week with something else. We will probably look at some defence. A few people have been asking for that, so I hope that will spice it up for the weekend over that. But you know, Declare a Place, just try and make a plan. I would love it if you could try and do that. I'm hoping that a fair few of you are playing online and are able to practice. I'm hoping eventually to get some play going, and I'll talk about that in the coming weeks, particularly on some set hands and things like that. But we'll see. I've got to put these ideas into practice. I keep talking about them. Here's the quiz. Let's remind ourselves of that quiz. So one spade from your partner, and it's your choice. Okay, and I need you, I'm hoping that everyone, I saw a few other answers, but really you've got 6 to 9 points, so you should only be choosing between 2 bids here. It should be a choice between 1 no trump and 2 spades. 1 no trump and 2 spades. They both show the same number of points. Okay, and that's key. And in a way, I don't mind what you choose as long as you understand you have the choice. Okay, now what I really am saying to you is, now, I'm assuming that for most people, 2 spades is usually showing, okay, 2 spades is usually showing 4 spades, okay. But in a way, 1 no trump is usually showing a balanced hand. So you'd have to say that both are lying a bit. The important thing is though that they're both showing the right number of points. 2 diamonds, we haven't got enough strength, or I hope everybody's happy with that. Okay, so I think you've got to choose. I want you to look at that hand and tell me, does it look like it wants to play in 1 no trump? And does it look like it wants to be in 2 spades? And that's what I want you to choose. And I'm hoping that most of you would say, yeah, I think it looks like it wants to play in spades. And the idea is, even if your partner just has 4, okay, let's just put even if your partner just has 4, you'll actually find that playing in the 4-3 fit might be right. And as someone's just saying there, that singleton is the key here. Having a singleton there means that you could well make an extra trick by roughing in the short trump hand. Okay, and 2 spades is a gorgeous contract here. Now, this is a theme that's going to come up here because I really don't understand this aspect of opening 1 no trump on the hand on East's hand. Okay, that East hand, I know some of you would open 1 no trump. To me, that's a heinous crime. Okay, you know, having 5 spades to the ace king, you must open 1 spade with that hand. And, you know, as I say, if you open 1 no trump, you'll finish in 1 no trump and not have much fun. Okay, whereas we'll be obviously in 2 spades and happy. Okay, all right, with a gorgeous 5-card spades like that, I do want you to open. And of course, it revolves around the fact that we will bid 2 spades on hands like this. When you have a doubleton and 3 spades, I'm happy for you to choose. So if it's a flatter hand, the responding hand, by all means, bid 1 no trump. Okay, and particularly if you're 4-3-3, you should be bidding 1 no trump. Okay, but with a singleton and 3-card support in a weak hand, you should be bidding 2 spades. Okay, okay. As I say, with a 4-4-3-2 hand, I think you've got a choice. If you've got a 3-card support, and I'm happy with either. With the singleton, I feel that looks like a 2 spade bid there. Okay. Remember, if you open 1 spade, you have the easiest rebid in the world. And I can't exaggerate this. The bidding will go 1 spade, 2 diamonds, 2 spades. It is the easiest rebid in the world. Okay? You know, it really is. Do not complicate bridge. Okay? It is so simple. Okay? You know, 1 spade, 2 diamonds, 2 spades does not promise 6 in any system under the sun. Okay, I know some people say it does, but it doesn't. Okay, and it's really easy bridge, and you should really love your spade suits. I don't even mind if you open one no trump with 5 hearts, but 5 good spades, please, please, please open 1 spade. Okay, all right. Anyway, let's leave it. Oh, I've skipped. I've got a tea towel there. That's not what I was expecting to come up, and I've got. Oh, what am I doing now? Let me just go to there. I think that might work. Oh, I'm all over the place here. I seem to have gone to... Oh, I see what's happened. Okay, anyway, I'm just showing you the DVDs again, but got onto the wrong slide, and I now understand what's happened because I'm running through the PowerPoints, and it runs through all those. Those are those that we've shown before. So if you do want to order them, you can from the office, although today there won't be anybody in, but they will process the orders on the beginning of the week. So that's set 7, and you had set 6, I think, was 2 weeks ago. Unbelievable. You've done a great job raising money, and I can't thank you enough for that. We're going towards 18,000, which is lovely. And the tea towels, which are lovely, actually. They're a nice decorative thing, so do look into those if you fancy them. Okay, let's put another quiz up so that we can think about it over the weekend. You open 1 spade with this hand. You open 1 spade with this hand. Okay. And so we're playing 4-card majors, I should note. If you were playing 5-card majors, you'd have to open that. A club, probably in your system, the better minor. But playing 4-card majors, we open a spade with 18 points. It goes 3 spades, and it's your bid. Okay, so 1 spade past 3 spades from your partner, and it's your bid. Okay, 1 spade past 3 spades, and it's your bid. Okay, let's look at some of the hands I've been sent in. I've got quite a few nice ones here, so hopefully you enjoy it. Let's start with a preempt, and you've got to decide whether you are going to preempt with this hand. So let's put myself up there, might as well, that annoying circle in the corner, and let's see what we think. So you are West with this hand. Now, if I draw your attention to the sort of arrows, the bunting, shall we say, in the middle of the screen, they've got red and white rather than the blue, of course. The white bunting is pointing to east and west, and the red bunting is pointing to north and south. So that means north-south are vulnerable, and east-west are not. Okay. So have a look at this one. Someone there's asking to show Declare at the bottom. I usually would do on Q+, I can do. It's difficult to fit it in on the screen in terms of PowerPoint, so it's much easier to have it wide because you tend to be wider screened, and that's why it's east and west. Just to explain that for the person who's asking for it to be north-south. Okay, so here it's West to open the bidding. So West is non-vulnerable against vulnerable. So I think you've got a bit of leeway there, but you've got to be careful if you do open hands like this, because partners, you know, the king of clubs could be worthless. So you're looking at a kind of 3 count and a not a great suit. But I do like the Jack 10, 9, 8 in the suit. To be honest, I would say it depends on style. I'm going to say it depends on your style. Okay. You've got to, as a partnership, decide your style. I know in some partnerships I've played in, okay, okay, I say, look, if we're non-vulnerable against vulnerable, we are going to bid aggressively. So don't trust me for good preempts, okay? All right, so here they chose to open 3 hearts. Whether I would have not is another matter. North, nice-ish hand, but nothing to say, he's got nice hearts. Now you can see that East has an interesting bid. Okay. Have a little think about that East hand. So again, the vulnerability is north-south vulnerable, east-west non-vulnerable. What are you going to bid here? I think East has to pass. I mean, it's horrible because it's the best hand you're going to pick up all night. It is gorgeous, but any bid you make is forcing. So if you bid 3 spades, it is a forcing bid. Now, it will work on this hand, as it happens. It will work, okay? Because, of course, your partner's got the king of clubs and things will go lovely, okay? But, you know, you could be in a horrible, horrible contract, okay? So he chose to pass, which is fine. Now, what do you bid on the south hand? Now, I know what I'm going to bid. The best result will be got by passing, because it turns out that they are in a horrible contract of 3 hearts. Okay. But to be honest, I would be borrowing a king in this hand. I've got 11 points. I'm relatively short in hearts. I have to say I would probably double here. And you know, you're falling into a trap, and I think it's perfectly reasonable. So south would double. It goes pass, of course, from west. What are you going to bid with the north hand? I think pretty much everybody has got some interesting decisions on this hand. It really is. So the vulnerability is key here. Now, don't get me wrong, I know you've seen the hand. If I hadn't seen the hand, I know my partner's got spades. I would be thinking, do you know, if I can make 3 no trumps here, I will make more points than taking them down in hearts. Okay, so don't forget that the vulnerability is key. If I can make a game here, okay, if I can make a game here, I will make more. I'm not going to take them more than 3 off in 4 hearts. 3 hearts, apologies. So at this vulnerability, I have to be honest, I would probably bid 3 no trumps. I would be wrong. When I say that, it's a close call, funny enough. It depends on what they lead, but the chances I would lose the first 7 tricks in no trumps. But that's what preempts do to you. They make you guess. And if I bid 3 no trumps, yep. If East finds the ace of clubs lead or the queen of clubs lead and they switch to spades, I will go down and royally down. As I say, I'll go 3 off. So that would be a bit of a disaster. Okay, so this north passed. As I say, I would have bid 3 no trumps. But the beauty to East now is East can make a bid. Because he's got such strength, why not? And I like it. I would bid 3 spades. So I think that's a great bid getting out of it. And then maybe if he gets doubled, he could go to 4 clubs. But it goes pass, pass. And now what does North bid? Really tricky. The interesting thing is that 4 spades is making on this, you know, not that you can ever bid it, but 4 spades is a very comfortable contract, which is funny. But you're never going to, I think, end up in it. Do you know I couldn't pass with the North? I'm going to bid here. I might even bid 3 no trumps because I know my partner's got a spade stop, but probably 4 diamonds. And that doesn't get me a good score. So I think any correct bidding on this one isn't going to get... I feel that I've got to compete with the North hand. If partner can't double 3 spades for penalties, his spades aren't particularly good. So I would probably bid 4 diamonds. It's a mess. It's an interesting hand to be saying. And I just wanted to show you that, you know, I try to choose bidding quizzes where I feel there's a correct answer. Here, I think there's a lot of completely, you know, if you gave these bids at various times to experts, they would come up with different answers here. Okay, so if North doubles here, it's not for takeout. That's important. If North doubles here, it's not for takeout. Okay, double would be for penalties. Okay, just to, you know, when preempts a bid, and then there's more bidding involved, you know, North knows his partner has 4 spades. That's important. Well, most of the time he'll have 4 spades. So it's a crazy hand. In the end, what happened was 3 spades made at the table. But as I say, if Declara, I mean, I think you're going to lead the ace of hearts. It gets rough. If you lead a small spade to the queen, you will make 11 tricks in spades. So 3 spades plus 2 would be the same score as 4 diamonds minus 2. So it could be an interesting flat ball. But I think that's enough on that one. But I hope you appreciated that one. I thought that was quite a fun one. Okay. Have a look at this one. And this was just a question. And interestingly, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go back to a thing that came up a moment ago. So just to start the bidding, it's East to open the bidding here. Again, the East-West are vulnerable. And this is just to show you one of the reasons why some experts include 5-card majors in their 1 no trump opening. And I mean experts. Okay, so I'm not sure it's good for beginners, but some experts do open one no trump with weakish 5-card majors. So it went one no trump by East, pass from South. What do you think West bid? So someone's asking in the previous hand, how did you know that your partner had 4 spades? Your partner had done a takeout double over 3 hearts. So he will almost always have 3 spades, but very often 4. Because when we make a takeout double, we are emphasizing the majors there. Okay, just going back to that last one. So even over 1 heart, when you double, very often the takeout doubler will have 4 spades. Not always, but very often we will have. Okay, so most of us will bid 3 no trumps, okay, and that is normal, and most of you out there who open a 1 no trump with a 5-card major would still bid 3 no trumps with that hand. But experts don't do that. They play 5-card Stayman. You should only be bidding Stayman if you are asking about 5-card suits. So if your Stayman only asks for 4-card suits, you can't. But the person who sent this in asked why their opponents had bid 2 clubs. And the reason was they were playing 5-card Stayman. That's not as an easy convention. Some of you will play it over 2 no trumps. So I'm sure a lot of you have come across a 5-card Stayman, which is basically Stayman asking for 5-card majors, but then the continuations carry on afterwards to ask for 4 cards if you want to. And so the reason why the auction at his table had gone like this, okay, was because they play 5-card Stayman. Okay, and that's the point of this hand. Now, what I'm saying to you here is that if you include 5-card majors in your weak no trump, you really should be playing 5-card Stayman. I don't recommend it. It's a complicated system, okay? But that hand there, West is thinking, if my partner has 5 hearts, I should be in hearts, 4 hearts. That's crucial, okay? So if you do include these 5-card majors, you really should include 5-card Stayman in your armory. As I say, I do not recommend it at all. It's too complicated and it comes up a lot. Okay, but this was an auction that this gentleman came across, and he wondered why on earth did West bid 2 clubs? And the reason, of course, was because he was asking 5-card majors when his partner said no. So 2 diamonds says, no, I do not have a 5-card major. Okay, now at that point they've given quite a bit of information away, and South actually chose not to lead a major. I'm not sure I would have done, but a club or diamond lead is what's needed to probably take the contract down, as it were. A heart was being led. I'm sorry about the various messages coming up. We got some strange people coming on. That seems to happen after a little while if you get quite a few subscribers. So that's all I was going to show on this one. Okay. It's interesting though. A passive club lead is dynamic in a way. Okay. Any other lead is not so nice. Even a diamond lead is tricky, because I think North might win the ace and lead the jack of diamonds back, which would establish the 9 of diamonds. I have to say, I'd be surprised if most people didn't make 3 no trumps, as long as De Clara plays it correctly, because I think South's got a difficult job to discard. Imagine De Clara, let's say, on a club lead, played 4 rounds of clubs. South has really tough discards then, I would have thought. Really tough discards. I think he may well discard a heart or a diamond, in which case De Clara has chances of establishing tricks. Anyway, let's leave that one. I wanted to look at a slam hand for a bit of excitement. That one again was the idea of 5-card Stayman there, but not keen on it, but if you play it, you play it. Okay, this one now, I mean, I'll quickly mention this one, and some of you may have even played a set hand that I invented with this hand. This hand did come up. Okay, this hand did come up for the gentleman involved. I think this one was from Ruben. And in a way, there's a simple way of bidding the hand. Those of you who can't be bothered to count, I'll count it up again now. I think it's 28. Is that what I made it? 8, 12, 28 points. So you're not going to have that much many times, are you? 28 points. But if you do get it, how do you cope with it? Well, the answer's relatively straightforward, but if you've not come across it, you're probably going to go wrong. So let's just do it. Let's have a go. East is the dealer here. Clearly he passes. And we're going to open our strongest bid. Oh God, I've just passed. I've just passed with the, sorry. That's what happens. That's what we call a misclick. Okay. So South opens the strongest bid. I don't mind which one you play. Let's say we play 2 diamonds for Benji, but if you play a normal Ackle, 2 clubs, you're opening your strongest bid. The next hand, okay, I seem to have been hacked out of there. I don't know what's going on, so I apologies for that. I might have to move on to something else. I'll just try. Can you still hear me, darling? Yeah, okay. No, that's not worked at all. I'll just try one more time. Bear with me. We'll see if we can get there. I'll just give it one more go. Okay. There we go. All right, we'll make this one the last one. I'm sorry about that. So you've got 28 points. 28 points, and I think there was too many points and it bust the machine. I think you're probably right there. So hopefully you can see that again. Okay, 28 points. Wow. So let's start the bidding and see how we do. Okay, so we pass from East, of course. We'll open the strongest bid. Let's say it's 2 diamonds. Again, if it's 2 clubs, that's fine. It goes pass, 2 hearts, a negative. Again, if it's 2 clubs, your strongest bid, it would go 2 diamonds. Don't worry about those first 2 bids. They are artificial, and that's what's crucial. So how do you show 28 points? Well, you bid more than 3 no trumps. Okay, and as someone said there, you would rebid 4 no trumps. Now, it looks odd, but it is a natural bid. Okay, it's not going to come up often. Remember, a 3 no trump rebid would just show 25 or 26 points, and North should pass. So someone there suggesting 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, or 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, 3 no trumps, your partner should pass that. Okay, he's only got 5 points. If you've got 26 points, 5 plus 26 is 31, not enough to make game. So the 4 no trump rebid, it's not going to come up much in your life, maybe once, but it would show 28, 29 points. Or 27, 28, whichever you prefer. And I think your partner should then just bid 6 no trumps. Okay, and that would be that. So again, it's not going to come up often, obviously, this kind of hand. And whether it's a perfect contract is another matter. I think you should be in it. You've got a lot of chances on this particular hand. The clubs break 3 and 3. Okay, but I think, you know, you've got a good enough hand to be in 6 no trumps. But as I say, you've got to, you know, it's a nice hand to have on a bank holiday. That's all I can say. And I think it's not a bad way sort of to finish things. I'm sorry we got cut out in the middle there. But yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed the chat about Declare a Play over the last week or so. Let's just remind you of the quiz before we go into the weekend. Here we go. 1 spade from you, 3 spades from your partner. 1 spade from you, 3 spades from your partner. What do you fancy? 1 spade from you, 3 spades from your partner. What do you fancy? Okay, don't forget we've got all the sort of things in the shop. We are not playing bridge today. A number of you have sent. I'm going to be social distancing in the little green area that we've got near our house, both for an afternoon picnic and hopefully a few drinks in the evening. So do enjoy your VE day, enjoy the weekend, and hopefully I will see you on Monday. Thank you very much.